Alrighty guys, welcome to part 2 of running the Fibonacci's on the 15 minute. So as you guys can see here, there are some situations where you guys are going to encounter moves like this, where we have the market structure being broken to the upside. And let's say, for example, we would have entered here in the golden zone. Let's say we would have entered here on this golden zone, we would have been possibly stopped out. We would have been stopped out because look at this, trade went 33 pips in profit. And let's say we would have had stops right here, we would have been stopped out. And as you guys see, after that, price came back up and just shot up and then hit take profit 3, almost hitting take profit 4. So in situations like this, we're going to have to do is we're going to have to look at all our time frames. We're going to have to look at the 15 minute and the 30 minute. So as you guys can see here on the 15 minute, right here, and then we look at the 30 minute, notice how this one where we ran our fibs on the 15 minute, it doesn't correlate with our 30 minute. So let's say we were to draw this down here and we would have posted this here. What happens now? Now we have 764 rejections. As you guys can see here. So let's highlight this golden zone really quick. So let's say we would have had our 15 minute and our 30 minute trade right here. If we would have been looking at them at the same time, we could have been able to identify that, hey, look, this move looks a lot more better on the 30 minute than the 15 minute. So as you guys can see here, if you guys would have stayed here and looked on the 30 minute instead of the 15 minute, you guys would have noticed that price did get in the golden zone. If we would have entered here, then what do we see here? We had a 26 pip drawdown. We'd had stop losses right here. 32 pips. What happened? Look, we would have been still in this trade. We wouldn't have been stopped out. And look at that. We would have been able to make 62 pips here, almost 2 times our risk, which ended up hitting about 75 pips, which if we would have held, trying to get take profit 4, either way, we would have made 2 times our risk. So very, very, very important when it comes to running your Fibonacci. You always want to look at all the time frames and make sure they are in confluence. In this situation, if we would have entered on the 15 minute, we could have gotten fucked over. We couldn't have gotten screwed over. But if we would have been paying attention to the 30 minute also, we would have noticed that we would have been saved. And this will happen a lot. This will happen a lot. You will find yourself losing trades because you went off this time frame, not focused on this one as well, not looking at this one to kind of see like, hey, look, what if potentially we do hit the 30 minute Fibonacci zone instead of the 15 minute? You know what I'm saying? Which happened here. We had our 15-minute fib that did get destroyed because it was respecting our 30-minute Fibonacci. So as you guys can see here, we had our market structures being broken to the upside. Beautiful, perfect right here. This wick right here to this wick, these candles, this big nice push, creating new higher highs, taking out these previous highs, showing you, hey, look, we're making new higher highs. So we're going to try to find that retracement down here in the zone to continue, which exactly what happened on the 30 minute. Beautiful. Right there. Nice little clean trade, as you guys can see. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful. Let's look for more examples. You will see mostly a Fibonacci setup almost every single day. Literally almost every single day. So let's go over here. What do we have here? We have this right here, which became a range. So this is where our take profit levels come in handy. Because guess what? If we would have ran this here on the 15 minute, but looked here on the 30 minute, hey, it looks good. It looks the same. It's literally the same, as you guys can see. What do we have here? We have take profit 1 being hit for 30 pips, take profit 2 being hit for 47 pips. Excuse me, let me just highlight this golden zone really quick. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. 39 pips, barely in drawdown from our entry. We were not even 10 pips in drawdown. Could have had stops like right here, let's say 27 pips. Either way, we're still more than a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio, which we never want to risk. We never want to lose. If we were to try to risk it here, we would have made possibly 3 times the risk. But as you guys can see, look at that. Boom. It was never hit. Take profit 3 was never hit. Take profit 4 was never hit. But that's why that taking partials or taking profit and putting stops to break even after hitting take profit 1 or even 2, you guys can get saved, because what happened? It came coming and it just came right back down. So that's very lovely. Good trade right there. Good trade. Right there. Beautiful. So let me kind of explain this to you guys right here real quick. Because what do we have here? We have this nice little melting season right here. Because this thing just melted right here. We have our Fibonacci zone right here. But some people, what they would have done was they would have probably they would have ran our Fibonacci's probably from here to here. And as you guys could see, you guys would have lost. But the overall move was that looking from here, we had new lower lows being created. This push right here created new lower lows. So in this situation, we're going to run our Fibonacci from here to here. And we're going to look for shorts. We look at this golden zone. As you guys can see, let's kind of drag this out a little bit. As you guys can see, we ended up hitting the golden zone. Put that right here. Ended up hitting the golden zone. Let's say we wanted to make 2 times our risk. Boom, 50 pip stop loss to potentially get there. Could have done that. But in this situation, what I would have done is I would have put my stops around right here on this situation. Right there. And as you guys can see, price never came, not even close to that when it came here and hit take profit 2. Basically, at this level right here, if you would have taken profit here, you would have been more than a 1-to-5 almost. You would have made your money. You would have made your risk. So it's okay. So at the end of the day, what ended up happening was that price ended up coming back to the golden zone. Right here. And what happened? It hit the golden zone during the Asian session. And as you guys can see here, we were stuck. And then what happens when pre-London came? The move ended up being completed for 116 pips. So that's why Asian session is kind of risky. But as you guys see here, nice clean trade. It ended up happening at 10 in the morning. Boom, you ended up hitting your profits during the afternoon. Clean trade, clean trade. So let's look here on the 15 minute. What do we have right here? We have just this little channel right here. There's nothing but this is looking very, very choppy. You know, let's highlight this zone right here real quick. You know, let's look at the 30 minute, let's look at the 15 minute. You know, what do we have here? You know, we don't really have much. On the 30 minute, it just looks like it's going to continue going down. So let's kind of like box this up right here a little bit. Now let's look at the 15 minute. What do we have here? Okay. We had a little market structure being broken to the downside right here. We got our golden zone. Look at that. Look beautiful, lovely. Look at that. Take profit 4 almost smashed. If we would have sold here, look at that. We almost hit take profit 4. Could have put stops like right here, 20 pip stop loss. You know, potentially make 3 times our risk almost. But look at this. This is during the Asian session. And as you guys see here, as price starts to go down, this is like London open. So like I said, guys, like if you guys want to trade the Asian session, try to trade a little bit after 9, 10 o'clock, just so that way you're not stuck forever. Because in situations, this might not happen. It could just shoot up and you could lose. So it's very risky. Be very, very careful when it comes to those type of moves. Always, always, always want to be careful. So look at this. This is very important here. Take notes, guys. So let's say, for example, we wanted to run our Fibonacci from here to here on the 15 minute. Let's say we would have run here. Okay. Price never came back down, but it kept going up. So what are we going to do? We're going to drag it a little bit because we're still making highs, and this is still the push that made new higher highs. So we're going to keep dragging it. Look at that. No, nothing. Now let's go over here. Let's go right here. Exactly right here. Boom. Look at this. This is the golden zone right here. As you guys can see, 764, our backup came in clutch on this trade. So let's say we would have entered the second we would have hit here. We would have had stops like in the middle between 764 and the 1. Take profits over here. It's a 2.8 risk to reward ratio, so we can potentially make almost 3 times our risk if overall profits are hit. So look at that. Boom, we went into some nice drawdown. Terrible, actually. And then look, we just wicked right back up, hit take profit 2 for exactly 56 pips, and ended up almost hitting take profit 3. So at this moment, you're more than 70 pips in profit. You're about 80 pips in profit almost. So in this situation, you're doing pretty good on a 15-minute setup. Let's look at our 30-minute setup. Let's see how it looked. Let's see how it looked over here. Oh, it is right here. Oops. Let's see how it looked. On the 30-minute, it didn't look so good. You know what I'm saying? So let's say we would have kind of fixed it a little bit on here. Hey, we still were able to hit it. We still were able to make the trade. Still looked good. Still looked pretty good. Look at that. Boom. So you always want to look at the higher time frames and the smaller time frames to always make sure that this thing is going and working in your favor. So we were able to hit about 50, 60 pips on this one, take profit 2 before putting stops to break even. So look at this nice little example I'm about to give you here. So let's say, for example, look at this. If we would have put stops to break even here, at this moment currently we are up about 30 pips in profit right now. So as you saw in some other examples, we ended up coming back here, hitting our stops, and then coming back up. But in this situation, look at this. We just kept going up, 56 pips of profit. And then look, it just kept coming right back down before continuing to melt. So that's a pretty good example right there. Sometimes price is just going to keep going up, and sometimes it's going to keep going down. In this situation, either way, and this moment right here, we're kind of getting later into the day. Look at that. It's 11 o'clock in the morning, and boom, it just starts to die out as we get towards the afternoon. So you guys want to be very careful. Look at this little setup right here. This little setup formed during the Asian session. Oh my God, this big, massive wick. To be honest, this massive wick didn't count because this right here, I don't even know. This is just a lag. Don't even focus on that, to be honest. So if you would have put your stops right here, not your stops, you would have put from this wick to this wick right here, go through here. This is still the Asian session, but as we get to the London session, you'll see that volatility starts to kick in. And look at that. Hit our zone. Hit take profit 1. Beautiful. Never went back up. Take profit 2 hit. Almost take profit 3. So in this situation where you're more than 70 pips in profit, stop losses right above here, you're still good on the trade. So let's kind of go back. Let's go kind of far back. A little bit more far back. Oops. Let's go a little far back. So look at this. Here, this is a nice little trending market. So as you guys can see here, this is December. December was a really good month, actually. December was real beautiful. There was a lot of volatility, a lot of movement. It was just a really insane month. So look at this. This is going to happen to you guys a lot. So when this happens, I don't recommend anybody forcing any types of setups. As you guys see here, we have new lows being created. Nothing. Okie dokie. Let's kind of drag this a little bit down right here. What do we have here? We have our golden zone being touched beautifully, barely being touched, but ended up coming down and just flopping immediately into, profit, hitting our take profit 3. Take profit 4 wasn't hit, but it was still 90 pip trade. We never, after partials and putting stops to break even, we never came back up, and we were still able to capitalize 90 pips on this trade before coming back up to continue this trend. So this is going to be a question that a lot of people are going to ask me, like, hey, what about here? Like, what if I roll my fibs from here to here? You see that? Like, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. Instead of running it from here to here, as you guys can see here, golden zone is being very much respected here if I would have ran it from here to here. This is going to happen a lot. This is going to happen a lot. So let me go here and let me go to 30 minute. So let me go to 30 minute and I'm going to see what it looks like. Okie dokie. On the 30 minute, as you guys can see, look at that. It's just a straight melt. This thing is bleeding down. So on the 30 minute, it looks great. On the 15 minute, it kind of looked choppy. But that's why you always have to look at your other, you always have to look at your other time frames in order to get in these trades. As you guys can see here, boom. Oh, sorry. Golden zone, very much respected. And then take profit 4, getting smashed. If we would have sold here, what were we? Look at that. We were not even 10 pips in drawdown. We weren't even losing 10 pips. And look at that. We were able to make 106 pips. So let's say we would have had our stops right here. Look at this. It was a 3 risk to reward ratio. You would have made 3 times your risk on this trade. Beautiful. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. So let's continue. Let's continue. Let's go back here. Let's go back to December. And kind of keep going forward. This is February. Bear with me, bear with me, bear with me. I'll show another little examples right here before we have to cut this video, because it is getting pretty long. Oh, here we go. And as you guys see here, boom, beautiful. So if we were to continue, because right now it's trending, we would have put stops here, stops. Market structure being broken to the downside, straight melting, came back for a retracement. We caught the retracement, beautiful. And then immediately just starts melting to take profit 4 before it starts coming back up. So look at this. Put a short here, stops right here, take profit right here. Another, making 3 times our risk. Look at that, beautiful. Boom, same thing happened here. We're going to keep going. We're still making new lower lows, so it's still valid, the trade. Look at that, boom, here to here, golden zone, respected. Boom, look at that, just kept melting. Take profit 3 was hit before eventually almost hitting take profit 4. Later on of the day for 112 pip move. Stops above here, 3 times our risk. Beautiful. Look at that, new lower lows being created. We got another retracement coming in. Either way, at that moment, take profit 1 was hit. So what is happening? Take profit 2 is hit. Our stops are break even. So in this situation, we can risk again. Either way, it's a risk-free trade on the other one. So if you risk another 3%, either way, you're still good. You're still in profit for the day. Or if not, if you lose on this one, guess what? You don't lose on the other one. So you could have re-gotten enter on this one, and look at that. Boom. Same thing. New lower lows being created. Just kept melting and melting. So if you didn't have this opportunity, you had this one, and you could have been trailing and trailing. Look at that. Take profit 1 was hit, stops break even. Take profit 2 hit, stops still not being broken. Boom. Never came back up, came right back down. Look at that, beautiful 93 pip trade. So you'll notice a lot that'll happen, and you'll notice a lot that it doesn't happen. So let's keep going. Now look at this. This is where it gets really confusing, because we have new higher highs being created here. But as you guys can see here, this is where that discipline comes in handy. Right here. And looking at the higher time frames. Because one thing about the Fibonacci is you never want to trade one against the other. And I'm going to explain that to you guys in this video right here.